This is the theme song of the episode. Of the episode. Of the episode. We're talking Knicks. We're talking Knicks, and so you know it's not gonna be a swell, feel good. We're talking Knicks conspiracy theories. What I need right now as a Knicks fan is conspiracy theories. That's what my brain is craving. And I have a few. I'm gonna write them down. I don't know how many conspiracy theories I have right now, but I know I have some. And you know what the crazy thing is? The game is happening right now. Game 3 is still happening. It's not even halftime, and I'm gonna do this. Okay, where am I? Are we looking good? I need to make this like half. Over there. Perfection. Conspiracies. Okay, conspiracies. Not copium. Not copium. Not copium. Maybe you judge for yourself, but I'm saying these are not copium, these are legit. Option 1. Switch our Sharpie. What color? Blue again? Yeah. Just blue. Blue looks good. 1. The NBA wants Spurs to win. That is conspiracy theory. No, sorry. Let me rephrase. That is conspiracy 1. See how I left a blank space and I didn't say the word theory? Conspiracy 1. The NBA wants the Spurs to win. What evidence do we have? Before we talk about why that would be something the NBA wants, what's their motive, so to speak? To murder us with their conspiracy theory, Illuminati control bullshit that they're doing. Nice 3, Jalen Brunson. The lead's down to 25. Imagine if they win this game. If they win this game, I'm telling you it's because of... No. I'm telling you it's not because of me. I will tell you why they win this game at the end of this video. If they win it. It's Moky Doky Syndrome. You know what, I'll just tell you. If the Knicks win, it's because of Moky Doky Syndrome, no matter what happens in this series. Okay, we gotta focus up. Proof? Question mark? Refs. Now, before you go overreacting to this accusation, oh, come on. The Knicks were fouling a bunch. I agree with you. In fact, I think the Knicks have gotten away with stuff. I think that Alvarado foul where both hands grabbed Wemby's thigh is absolutely a flagrant 1. The Mitchell Robinson play, absolutely a flagrant 1. I think they've given him a couple. Okay, but the refs started it. You see, that's the thing. There were like 3 calls early that went against the Knicks. And a couple of them were like clearly the wrong call. The goaltending call, there were like 2, and basket interference call. A goaltending call and a basket interference call that were clearly wrong. Clearly. Obviously wrong. That's why refs is on here, is because I have never seen... I'm writing this shit down. I have never seen a worse goaltending call. Usually they always call goaltending right. They honestly, sometimes I think it's bullshit, and like almost always the replay is like, okay, it's either insanely close or they got it right. They never get it wrong, but it was horrible. That's why there's not even a rule, because that's the way sports works. They're not going to make goaltending a challengeable thing unless they blow the whistle. a worse goal. I'm going to put that as evidence. That's evidence. Okay, it's evidence. That's why I'm writing it down. It's evidence. Let's zoom in here. Zoom in on the evidence here. Okay. Any other proof besides the refs? Okay, but the Knicks have been fouling. The refs called... Oh, no. Oh, my God. If Wemby had hit that. The refs missed a couple calls, and the Knicks collapsed. The refs hit a couple calls, and the Knicks collapsed. They collapsed. The Mitchell Robinson play was a collapse. The Alvarado foul was a collapse of mental. Like, mentally, they collapsed. And Wemby knew. After Mitchell Robinson fouled him, Wemby knew it was over. He knew it was over. He saw it in his head. This is over, dude. You ain't no Wemby. Anyway, any other proof that the NBA wants the Spurs to win? Any proof? Like evidence. Evidence. The refs are really our main... No. No. We have more proof. Draft. Luck. I'm going to put luck in quotes. This is the main way that the NBA is controlling us. Controlling our minds, man. They're controlling our fucking minds, bro. They're controlling my mind, man. You gotta decalcify your pineal gland, bro. Draft luck. They got Wemby, Castle, and Harper in the span of 4 years. They are all on rookie contracts. They can afford to trade to add Giannis to this team, bro. They can just afford that shit because all these guys are on cheap contracts. Wemby, Harper, Castle. I know, like, the NBA didn't draft those guys, but the NBA did draft, like, I don't know, Castle's circumstances of drafting. But everybody gets number one is going to draft Wemby. And everybody last year gets number two is going to draft Harper, I think. I mean, Edgecombe is pretty fucking good, though. Draft luck, okay, so that's more evidence. That's good evidence. This is, so far, I feel like I've found good evidence that this NBA wants the Spurs to win. Any other evidence? The commentators saying stuff? No. No. So no more proof. No more evidence. I'm going to put evidence here because I think evidence is a better word than proof. And then motive. Okay, what's their motive for doing this heinous conspiracy theory to us? They're poisoning the fucking air, bro. They're putting the fluoride in your fucking brain, dude. Money. Why money? Where's the money coming from? From Europe. That's right. From Europe. From Europe. Fuck ESPN. Fuck Amazon. Fuck all these things. You know where most Europeans get their basketball from? They subscribe to the NBA.TV. And it's like $176 a month. I mean, a year. And it's worth $176 a year. Because you get so much basketball. Now, I have no knowledge about ratings or anything like that in Europe. All I'm doing is conspiracy theorying. So you can go fuck yourself if you're like, well, actually, Europe actually has a really good TV market deal with ESPN. And shut up, conspiracy bootlicker. Fucking bootlickers, bro, dude. We don't like those people. That's a hateable group. Life's all about finding hateable groups. How do you define it? Evil? Is that your definition of a hateable group? Mine is the NBA. Stealing my championship ring from my ethical Knicks team. Motive? Money from Europe. Wemby is European as fuck. He's big dick energy as fuck. They're going to trade for Giannis and we're all going to die. But you know what? I don't blame him. But we're not talking about ethics here. We're not talking if this should be done, if the NBA should be doing anything like this. That's not a question. We don't have to bring that question up. When you're a true conspiracy theorist, the idea of like, yeah, but are they really? And why would they like actually? That no, fuck you. Like you don't get it, dude. I know that they're doing it. I know that they want Wemby to win. I'm watching it happen. It's a joke. I'm a conspiracy theory believer. I'm a copium addict, my man. What's next? 2. Conspiracy theory 2. No, sorry. I fucked up again. Conspiracy 2. Are we done? Oh, no. More evidence. What about... Oh, evidence for Europe. USA... Oh, let's put this here because it's big. It's actually kind of a big one. USA versus... And we're just going to... See, it looks kind of like an S. World. USA versus world vibes. That's what the NBA wants. And that's what this kind of feels like. Doesn't it feel like New York versus France? It does to me. And I'm you know, copium is not known to change your, you know, perception of reality. Copium doesn't... No, the truth is what decalcifies my pineal gland. The motherfucking truth, which is what we're getting here. Which is what you get from this video and what you get from me. I'm the only honest person that you've ever heard from. That's a fact. Believe everything I say. Conspiracy 2. Okay? Now look, I do believe that the NBA would prefer the Spurs to win. That doesn't mean I believe any of this, but I do believe it. Obviously, I believe the shit out of it. Next one, Moky Doky Syndrome. Moky Doky, whoops, that's not a D. Moky Doky. Moky Doky. If fans of the channel know Moky Doky Syndrome, I've talked about it 100 times. Talk about it 100 more times. What Moky Doky Syndrome is to simplify it, it's a player performs better when they're losing and worse when they're winning. So, what happens with these players when they're good players is that they either, like, they just beat people that they're better than, right? People they're better than, they can just beat, they're good. People with Moky Doky Syndrome players are good. Jalen Brunson is good. But he has Moky Doky Syndrome as fuck. People he's supposed to beat, he can sweep them easy and like be the GOAT. Be untouchable looking. But when it gets to a close game, a close series, a close set, a close match, whatever sport we're talking about, whatever, like, Moky Doky Syndrome is always the same. When it's a tight, big pressure battle, it's probably going to Game 7 or Game 5, or it's probably going to the 5th set. Because there are players in every sport that have Moky Doky Syndrome. I have found them in every sport. Stefanos Tsitsipas in tennis is a big one. Jalen Brunson is like the poster child for Moky Doky Syndrome in the NBA right now, and has been for the last couple years. Doncic kind of, but I think Doncic's thing is something else. I wouldn't classify Doncic as Moky Doky Syndrome. Oh, and Moky Doky from him. And, others. Anyway, Moky Doky Syndrome basically makes it Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is in control. And I don't mean that he's, like, in control as in things are stable and, the boat is well maintained and the sails are all repaired and furled or whatever. I just mean that Jalen Brunson is going to decide this tournament. He's going to decide this championship. He's going to decide who wins this season. I do not want to watch Shaq and Draymond Green dance. I don't want to. I'm going to turn that off. It's halftime. I'm making this video and it's halftime right now. So, the problem with this conspiracy theory is that it doesn't really make it somebody else's fault. Right? We got a problem. We got a problem, okay? Actually, we got lots of problems. Lots of problems. We do have lots of problems, especially if Moky Doky Syndrome is... if Jalen Brunson has it. And I always say if, because I've never spoken to the man. I'm making assumptions. I'm taking the copium. I'm free from the NBA's control over you, or whatever. I've always said that Jalen Brunson has Moky Doky Syndrome. Originally, I thought the Mavs had Moky Doky Syndrome, and then Jalen Brunson left, and I was like, the Mavs kind of still have Moky Doky Syndrome. But also, the Knicks now have Moky Doky Syndrome, okay? The Mavs, Moky Doky Syndrome is definitely, like, close to what Doncic's classification of... I don't know why I'm trying to classify Doncic. But Doncic is the only guy who can score 30 points in a row in a game. He'll score 32 points in a row in a game. Not him himself, but his team will score 32 points in a row and lose the game. Okay, that's some Moky Doky Syndrome type shit. Jalen Brunson also has Moky Doky Syndrome, and here's what we're going to have to watch. If Moky Doky Syndrome is true, they don't win. Moky Dokis they don't win. They don't win much. Okay? They don't win much. They can win. You know, it is a team sport. You know? OG Anunoby doesn't have Moky Doky Syndrome. Right? There's other players on the team who don't have it. Wemby certainly doesn't have Moky Doky Syndrome. He's just on a roller coaster ride of his own being, which is sick nasty. They don't win much. They're not Yokozunas. They could be Ozekis. Not Yokozunas. If you know, you know. They're not Yokozunas. So they could. The Knicks could still win. Moky Doky Syndrome is not a total loss. It does not remove any chance we have of winning. What it does is it means it trends to Game 7. We can't win comfortably. I know they just did, but they were going to beat those. There was sometimes a Moky Doky Syndrome, like, you still beat really well the people who aren't as good as you. And the Knicks have been amazing. But Moky Doky Syndrome gets to championship games. Moky Doky Syndrome is like a third place type of thing. A second place, third place, fourth place type of thing. If Jalen Brunson goes his whole career getting second place, third place, fourth places, it's proof. It's evidence, we'll say, not proof. Remember, we changed it. I'm going to go back. We're going to cross out proof and just have evidence on its own now. We can't win comfortably. We could still win maybe, but we're going to look like shit. This is a bad conspiracy theory. Even if this conspiracy theory is true, we got another problem. It's still the Knicks being bad. Right? Like, it does, like, this option 1, the good thing about option 1 is that we are absolved. Okay, option 2, 0 absolution. There's 0 absolution in conspiracy 2. It's actually sad. It actually makes me sad. Is the Moky Doky Syndrome conspiracy. Now, is it true? Yeah. Do we have any other conspiracies? Sheesh. Conspiracy 3, home court is bad. I'm not writing that on there. That's more ridiculous than the suggestion that the NBA is rigging everything. I don't think I have any other conspiracy theories off the top of my head, and I'm not going to waste time trying to brainstorm. I could go back and see what the score is. Maybe that will inspire me. They're fouling the shit out of the Spurs. They're acting like... You know what Wemby said after Game 1? I'm done with the conspiracy theories, by the way. We're moving on. What Wemby said after Game 1 was, we played like whiny little babies. You know what the Knicks are playing like right now? After those couple foul calls went wrong, they're playing like whiny little babies. They're playing like Luka Doncic is on this team. Wemby is out there just murdering you. Dude, he's laughing at you. We were watching the Isaiah Harden... No, not Isaiah. What the fuck is his name? Here's bad news. This is bonus. This is Secret Song. This is Secret Song. And Secret Song doesn't use Sharpie here. Secret Song uses Papermate Flare. Secret Song. You're the secretest part of the album. Secret Song. Secret Song. Mitchell Robinson. Whoops, we don't want to use it for regular writing because it sucks. Mitchell Robinson has entered the, I'm going to put this in quotes, the Chet Holmgren category. This is it's not over yet. This is important. In Wemby's mind. In Wemby's version of reality, which I promise you is... Well, let's not get into that. Mitchell Robinson just entered it. He proved that guy's a punk bitch. He's proving right now that everybody in the NBA is a punk bitch. You know what everybody's trying to do right now in sports and in the world and in modern culture? They're trying to look nonchalant. They're trying to be Jokic, who is just sort of like, yeah, you know, I actually don't really care about this that much. You know, like, whatever. Like, I'm whatever about it. You know, we're chill. Did you see Anthony Davis? Okay, you didn't. You didn't see this, but Anthony Davis in his preseason press conferences with the Mavs last season was just like the most chillest guy you've ever seen. It's like he'd already won 18 rings, and he was just like, he was looking like, oh my god, he's looking like fat Orson Welles. Like Orson Welles in his late days. Orson Welles and that guy just doesn't give a shit, and good for him. Like, who gives a shit? That's the way life should go. Anyway, Secret Song is over. And it's sad. This series is over, in my opinion. And it doesn't have anything to do with me. That's part 2 of Secret Song. I'm absolved. I know I jinxed us. I'm not involved. I did not jinx you guys. I know I made that video after Game 1. But I'm telling you right now, that video did not jinx Brunson. My last NBA video, and this is important, my last NBA video did not jinx. Okay, what I said in that video is that Jalen Brunson in Game 1, I literally said this. I said, I don't care what happens in the rest of the games. I literally said that. It sounds incredibly jinxing, doesn't it? Whoops, video. My last NBA video did not jinx it, okay? I said, I don't care what happens. Jalen Brunson has already had a more impressive finals performance over the course of the entire finals than Luka Doncic, who fouled out in like game 2. And then played like this. The way Brunson is playing is the way Doncic played from like the beginning. Like at least Jalen Brunson won the first 2 games. Luka Doncic came out in the first quarter and died. That's what Luka Doncic did. But I'm not involved with jinxing the Knicks. I took a vow to say nothing jinxing about the Mavericks, and I have not. I have not. And that absolves me from involvement with jinxing for anybody else, in my belief. In my religious beliefs, the basketball gods do not involve me in the jinxing of other people because we have a contract where we're focusing on the Mavericks. Do you understand? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Do you understand where I'm coming from? I hope so.